Good evening from New York. President Obama has reportedly authorized the death penalty for an American citizen who has not been convicted of any crime, the evidence against whom has yet to see the light of day, who denies his guilt, and who has not been given the due process, including trial, guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States. It is a power not even claimed by the Bush-Cheney administration, extending far beyond Bush-Cheney claims, which even the most conservative Supreme Court justice rejected. Our fifth story tonight, the New York Times and Washington Post confirming specifics of a story that's been simmering for months now. The White House has authorized U.S. counterterrorism operatives to kill Anwar al-Awlaki, Muslim cleric and American citizen born in Las Cruces, New Mexico in 1971, even if he is found far away from any combat zone. Unnamed officials say U.S. intelligence shows that al-Awlaki, thought to be hiding in Yemen, has shifted from endorsing violence against the U.S. to actually participating in anti-American plots as part of the group al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Yemen recently freed al-Awlaki from prison for lack of evidence, but he's also been linked to the alleged Christmas Day would-be bomber, though the nature of their link remains unclear, and exchanged emails with accused Fort Hood shooter Major Nidal Hassan, though their communications are not believed to be about that attack itself. Also linked to two 9/11 hijackers, and the 9/11 Commission said there was not evidence to prosecute him. U.S. citizens have been killed in previous anti-terror strikes, but a former top Bush legal official told The Times he knew of no instance when Mr. Bush specifically approved a U.S. citizen for targeted killing. All this coming not only as the Associated Press reports that Obama will drop references to specifically Islamic radicalism from his upcoming national security plan as part of an effort to avoid alienating Muslim countries, but also coming in the aftermath of leaked video some viewers might find disturbing of U.S. forces killing what they apparently thought were terrorists in 2007 in Iraq, but were in fact journalists for the Reuters news service. A spokesman for CENTCOM today telling the Plumline blog that it does not dispute the video's authenticity, but may not be able to find the official copy with which to confirm it. Military officials tonight telling NBC News this case is closed. The other is not. Let's bring in former CIA Special Agent Jack Rice on all this. Jack, thanks for your time tonight.
Great to be with you, Keith. We
missed 9/11. We missed Iraq's lack of WMD. We missed the warning signs at Fort Hood. We missed Abdul Muttalib. In that last video, we couldn't tell the difference between reporters and insurgents and guns and cameras. But we're sure enough about Anwar al-Awlaki for the president to say, put a gun to his head and kill him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We also missed the fall of the Berlin Wall. We missed the fall of the Shah in Iran. How's that Vietnam thing going for you? I mean, that's the big problem. What we get are a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, we absolutely know. But if we look back over the last 20 or 30 years, we have heard that again and again and again, what we know and what we don't know. But the problem is we end up finding out later it was nowhere near the truth.
What kind of intelligence would we have to have on al-Awlaki, and how confident would we have to be in that intelligence?
In my mind, because this is an American citizen, we need to think of it like one of our family members. We need to think of it like one of our neighbors down the street. This is an American. You don't allow the U.S. government to unilaterally say, no, we're not going to just kill somebody, and if they're an American who happens to be near it, that's one thing. This is literally targeting the Americans specifically and killing them. This cannot be done in this way. This is truly an extraordinary shift. It really highlights, by the way, that this isn't just a left or right Republican versus Democratic problem. This is something else altogether.
Now, it's different, is it not, to say this than to say, all right, we try to capture him in some way, and it doesn't go right, and he resists. We corner him, and in trying to escape, he's shot. I mean, those things could be dicey circumstances, but those things have happened before. That's separate from this, correct?
Of course, absolutely, because then what you're talking about is in the midst of the battle itself. And again, if there's an American who happens to be there, then all of a sudden you can say, well, it was either a mistake at the time, but we didn't realize, or, of course, you're fighting them. This is something else. What we understand now is this is the ability to target this man wherever he is. If he's sitting at dinner, all of a sudden you can go in and say, okay, that's the guy, let's go whack him now. Really? That's the standard we're setting for an American?
Let's push the precedent here that would be set to its extreme. What is to stop a future administration from using that magic word terrorism to order that other American citizens should be killed for criticizing the government?
Well, I think that's the biggest question of all here, because what we have to do is think very big picture, whether you trust this government, this president, the last one, or the next one. The problem is we have already seen from the Bush administration their willingness to use the term terror and terrorism to justify warrantless wiretaps, torture, Guantanamo, and so many other things that were unconstitutional. And now you look at this and say, well, if we just slap terrorism on it, we can ignore 200 years of jurisprudence.
And then there's the devil's advocate question. Assuming al-Awlaki is guilty and is actively trying to kill Americans, not just advocating that, which is apparently what he started at, but actually involved. Is this not exactly what the Obama administration should be doing?
Absolutely. Again, assume is really the effective word here. We have to be able to make that call. We're not talking about wrapping him in a warm blanket and rocking him like a young child. We're talking about knowing what we're doing and ensuring that when we make a decision, it's the right one. And that's what you and I are discussing right now.
Jack Rice, former special agent with the CIA. Great thanks for your time tonight. All of it very cogently put, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.